behalf of his MP.
Very good speech. Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Oh, isn't it typical we get a lot of trash talk from the other side of the House, and I'm not even going to lower myself to get in the trough with what we've just heard over the other side of the House. I want to talk about the positivity on the back of the budget 2017 and the significant investment that's been made into infrastructure, about $4 billion. And I saw that first-hand yesterday when I was up in the Gisborne region. Now, in this budget, we are investing another $90 million in water storage and infrastructure and irrigation projects. And I was delighted to be there with the Mayor Ming Foon yesterday and other horticulture leaders, turning the tap on the Managed Aquifer Recharge Program, where water on high flow levels is taken out of the Waipoua River and injected under pressure into the aquifer at the Poverty Bay Flats there, which has got a huge amount of pressure on it over the summer months. And ultimately, that will recharge that aquifer to allow it to be used over the summer months. Here's a classic example of the government investing with the local community and council, the local trust, to underpin job creation in the Gisborne region. We don't hear that across the other side of the House. And another example, when I left the tap-turning ceremony, I went down to Liederbrand, who have just built the salad house, a massive investment, about $20 million, creating jobs. And they said to me when I toured their factory, growing a whole lot of lettuces and other products, they wouldn't have invested in this new plant that isn't properly open yet. Soon they'll be having an opening, and the local MP, I'm sure, will be there celebrating with those business leaders in her community. But they wouldn't have made that investment unless they had had the confidence that the Managed Recharge Aquifer scheme that we have invested in was going to work. Now, this Poverty Bay Flats area, it underpins thousands of jobs, about 1,100 jobs, and this ability, when they add more value to these products, to create more jobs. 3,000 hectares under irrigation of 18,000 potential for more. This is a wonderful story, but it gets lost by the other side of the House, who don't care and don't support our rural communities. What is also important when we think about the investment that the government is making into infrastructure is rural broadband, and that follows on from the investment that is being made in ultra-fast broadband for our small regional towns. And soon, the government will be announcing the next investment into RBI2. If you think about the challenges that the primary sector faces right now to do with water quality, nutrient loads and taking value products to market, they're going to be required to do more measuring and monitoring. The way for our farmers and growers to do that is with reliable technology. Of course, smartphones means that we need mobile technology. We need more cell phone towers. We need the government to invest. Soon, we will be world leading. While we're a small country here in the South Pacific, we will be the most connected country in the OECD. What we've also heard from Minister Bridges this afternoon is the investment that is being made into transport infrastructure, with Waterview due to open in a matter of moments. And I see the first-hand experience in my electorate, Mr Speaker, where we have recently opened the Kapiti Expressway. I was also just a couple of months ago having a look at the great progress that's being made on Transmission Gully. These are significant investments made by this government that is going to transform the economy. Instead of vehicles, instead of produce, instead of people waiting to get to market or to their hospital appointments or to get to the ferry, they will have a streamlined transport corridor worth $2 billion from Wellington through all the way to Levin, and Foxton will be the gateway. Can I finish by saying that the mood of the primary sector at the field days was really buoyant. A record crowd through the gates of 133,000 people came through the gates, and the reception that the National Party got was absolutely fantastic. And when I talked about this document here, and Ian McKelvey, who's leading the Primary Production Select Committee, was there, we released this document that says the primary sector's in really good heart, $41 billion next year, growing at 9%. Well done to our foresters, fishers and growers and farmers.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Phil Twyford.
On the 30th of April